I'm Darlene.
And I'm Marty.
So today we're going to talk about all the different ways to get around Puerto Morelos, especially if you don't have a car, which we don't. Who wants to come?
I'm coming.
Woohoo!
So the ways to get around when you don't own a car is by bike, collectivos, both local and long distance, taxi, walking, or maybe even running.
And this is all based on where we were staying in Palma Real in Puerto Morelos. If you don't have a car, bicycles are a great way to get around. We rented bicycles from Green Bikes Puerto Morelos for $10 a day. If you rent for a whole week, it drops down to $8 a day. That includes a lock, basket, and lights. They even drop it off and pick it up from your hotel or Airbnb. Excellent service, and I highly recommend them.
So one way for us to get around is taking the collectivos. Collectivos are like little white vans, and they run from the beach side, the port side, over to the colonial side. The stop is right on the main square, across from the church and the ice cream parlor. Don't ask me how I knew all that. Anyways, there's two buses, Route 1 and Route 2. They'll have a sign in the front of their window designating which route they take.
Here comes a collectivo now. You can see the word collectivo, and this is Route 1, R1 in the window. They're always watching for you. Even if you're out in the middle of nowhere as they go by, if you fling your arm up, they will stop, and they're very good about keeping an eye out for you.
It cost us 10 pesos to go from the port side, the beach side, over to our place in El Faro.
So the two buses share the same route on the port side. Drivers will appreciate if you give exact change of 10 pesos, and there's no tickets issued. Once you get to La Colonia, Route 1 goes along Timon Avenue, Route 2 goes along Zatina Gasca. These are both north-south main arteries. There's no designated bus stop, so once you want to get off, just yell Baja! And we really suggest that you just hop on a bus and take a ride. You're totally safe. Radio Taxi is the main company here. Their rates are reasonable, at about 60 pesos from Palma Real to the beach, or 30 pesos to the Chedraui store. If you find a good driver, get his car and then contact him directly for future trips. InPuertoMorelos.com has great info on the town, as well as up-to-date taxi rates.
Stick around till the end of the video for tips on what apps you should have on your smartphone.
There are two Colectivo bus routes that run on Highway 307. One from Cancun to Playa del Carmen, the other from Playa del Carmen to Tulum. You cannot go directly from Cancun to Tulum. You must stop and transfer in Playa del Carmen. In Puerto Morelos, all buses stop at the junction of Federal Highway 307 and the overpass and main road into Puerto Morelos. If you're going south, you're going to stand in front of the Chedraui store. If you're going north to Cancun, you'll stand on the other side. There'll be an employee working at the bus stop. You just need to tell them where you want to go, and they'll get you on the right bus. It's 30 pesos to go to Cancun or Playa del Carmen. You pay when you get off the bus, as fare is based on where you're going. The Playa Express bus is newer and larger and makes less stops, and they go directly to Cancun Central to the ADO bus station.
So we took the collectivo from Puerto Morelos into Playa del Carmen. It's about a half an hour ride. They stop at 45th and 1st, and that's where they all accumulate here, and they wait until they're filled up again to go. So on this side is where they drop you off, and right across the street is where they fill them up and you take off again.
So, one of the ways we like getting around is walking. We typically walk 5, 7, 10, sometimes 20 kilometers a day, depending on what we're doing. Around here we can count on about a 5-kilometer walk to the beach. And what do you figure, about 2 kilometers to the store?
Yeah, 2 kilometers to Super Chedraui, maybe a kilometer to Super Aki. We also go out most evenings and go to local restaurants. In this area would be, 1.5 to 2 kilometers. So walking's our major mode of transportation, and that works just fine for us. So we feel it's very safe to walk around Puerto Morelos, La Colonia side. It's just a nice residential area, very calm and quiet.
So it's a long 3-kilometer walk from the federal highway into the town and beach. It takes us about 45 minutes, but it's hot and we're slow. On the walk in, you're going past mangrove swamps, so watch out for these guys.
And people say to us, is it safe to be in Mexico? Absolutely. The biggest hazard here is the sidewalks. Holes, things to trip over, holes, grates that are broken away, garbage. That's your biggest hazard here. Watch where you're going.
If you're enjoying this video, hit that like button and consider subscribing to our channel. So I'm a motorcycle guy. Here's a picture of my last one. If I lived in Mexico full time, I would definitely own a motorcycle or a scooter. The ones we saw in the local shop were so reasonably priced I could hardly believe it. I would say they were a quarter or maybe a fifth of what we would pay in Canada.
If it has legs or wheels, it's allowed. For private transportation to and from the Cancun airport, we've used Cancun Airport transportation several times. You can book online. As promised, here's the list of apps you should always have on your phone. Google Translate. Translate Spanish to English and English to Spanish. Maps.me. If you download the maps before you leave home, they'll work offline. WhatsApp. A lot of businesses in Mexico use WhatsApp, so you'll need that to order taxis, order food.
Watch out for these guys, and thanks for watching our video. Mucho gracias.